This is the new Zhiyun Weebill 3S, and on it you have a full-frame camera, a Canon L-Series 24-70, a small rig mini matte box, and a set of freewheel magnetic variable lenses. This gimbal can handle a payload of 2.7 kilos, which is around 6 pounds, and gives you a battery life of 21 hours, which in my opinion is more than enough, not just for one day, but for 2 or even 3 filming days. And in this price range, I genuinely don't think you're gonna find anything better than this. Now, is this the perfect gimbal? No, it's not. But the amount of features and functionality that you get for the money that you pay, it's really good.
And on that note, and just to state the obvious, this is a gimbal designed for heavy payloads. Yes, it can handle smaller cameras with lightweight lenses, and hey, you can even put a GoPro on it. But if that's the kind of equipment that you're looking to put on a gimbal, I think this is a bit of an overkill. But if you, on the other hand, are looking for a gimbal that can handle client work and are looking at mounting this sort of payload, this gimbal is fantastic.
In terms of the design and balancing of this gimbal, this is a joy to do because things genuinely work really nice. You don't have to worry about the sliding of the motors being stiff or hard because you have a sliding mechanism that is separate from the actual motors themselves. So you can easily slide it to find the right spot. And believe me when I'm telling you, this is a really big issue when you try and load heavy cameras and lenses, because when you do that with other gimbals, it becomes really difficult and hard to shift the motors back and forth in order to get the right balance. So that is a really big plus of this gimbal. The base plate is really nice. It could be better implemented, but the great thing about it is that it's solid metal, and once you tighten the nuts, it's not moving, it's solid, so that you can be confident that when you balance the payload on the actual gimbal itself, it's not going to move, it's gonna stay rock solid. That is really helpful because in many other gimbals, when you balance the gimbal, the base plate is not sturdy enough and things shift even if it's slightly. And one other thing that I think is really nice in this gimbal is the actual locks and where they place, because they are at the back of the actual bars of the motors, completely independent, and there is enough clearance on the roll axis so that you don't need to slide in the roll axis in order to fold the gimbal in itself. That's not an issue here. You can balance whatever payload you have on the gimbal and then simply just fold it, and it packs away really nice and easy. And the motors are really easy to open and close, and because they're independent from the actual motors themselves, you don't have this issue that you have with other gimbals where the heavier the payload, the harder the locks become to open and close. These are the small little details that a lot of the times you overlook or you don't pay attention to, but they make a massive difference when you're out on location. The LCD screen is not as nice as in other gimbals and even on other Zhiyun gimbals like the Crane M3S, but this gimbal makes it up by the amount of customization and adjustments that you can do that you cannot do with other gimbals. You can pretty much go into any adjustment option and adjust the motors individually if that's what you need. You don't get this level of customization in gimbals in this price range, where you normally have low, mid, high, and take it or leave it. With the Weebill 3S, any setting you can either adjust it as low, medium, and high, you have that option, or you can go into much more detail and adjust each motor individually, because there might be shots that you need, for instance, the roll or the tilt to be really nice and smooth, but maybe the panning a little bit faster. That's not something that you're gonna get with gimbals in this price range, but the Weebill 3S gives you that. So yes, the LCD screen is not as nice and colorful as other gimbals, but the level of customization and adjustments that you can do with this gimbal, in my opinion, totally makes up for it. When it comes to accessories, I genuinely recommend that you get the combo deal because it comes with this handle grip and wristband, and that is a really nice accessory to add to the gimbal that makes a huge difference in terms of stability, because there will be times that you will want a second hand grip just behind the gimbal, but there will be other times that you will want the hand side by side on the gimbal for stability. I think the handle grip in itself is a really good accessory worth the money that you pay for the functionality that you get.
These are the type of accessories that I take when I do client work, and the most important one, and in my opinion essential, is this Holyland Mars 4K video transmission system. If you work with people, the first thing they're gonna ask you when you do gimbal work is, can I see? And this is something that you're gonna have to be able to provide, and you don't wanna have cables running off the camera because that's gonna throw off the balance. It gives signal to up to 4 receivers, or, and this is what's great about the Holyland range, 4 iPhones or tablets, because a lot of the times when you work with directors, producers or clients, that's what they have. Another thing that I do a lot is I have this Holyland Mars M1 monitor. There is about half a second lag compared to, let's say, an Atomos Ninja 5, which is the one that I use on my gimbal. If you want to do something quick and you don't want to have a big setup with big iPads or broadcast monitors, you can literally pop this on a lighting stand and get a signal from the transmitter in literally a matter of seconds. And the fact that it's half a second lagging is not really relevant when you're a producer, a client, or a director, or makeup, or wardrobe, or whatever other department, because it's not essential. But if you are running a gimbal, you want to make sure that the signal from the camera to the monitor has the least amount of lagging. And I have found that the Atomos Ninja 5 does the job and does it really well. Another thing that I use and I highly recommend is that you invest in a set of headphones. Because if you're on location with a director and they're trying to give you directions, you don't want them to be shouting at you. You know, you want to just pop one of these on your ears, and you could be with your gimbal and they could literally be talking to you, and you could be literally talking to them if you want to tell them, do you want me to do this again? Do you want more of this, less of this? This is great. I use these ones from Holyland, the C ones. It's battery powered, it's completely wireless, and you rock up on location with these accessories, and trust me, your client is gonna be very happy. Potentially, they're gonna book you again, which ultimately is all that matters. I always recommend people to invest on equipment once. Buy good and reliable equipment that, yes, it may be more expensive than the cheaper alternatives, but these equipment and monitors will last for a long time, rather than buying the cheap alternatives that you might have to buy 2, 3, 4 times over time, and they're never gonna quite do the same job.
If filming vertical is your thing, this gimbal is really nice because it allows to switch from horizontal to vertical very quickly. You just slide the plate and literally mount it vertically, and it can handle almost the same payload vertically than horizontal. But the adjustments are done very quickly, and you could literally be filming from horizontal to vertical in a matter of 10 or 15 seconds. And I think that's really, really nice. And you get no restrictions of movement whatsoever when you are in vertical, which is something that it doesn't happen with many gimbals, that they give you the ability to shoot vertical, but you do have some restriction as you tilt up or down, or you try to do an up and down movement. But trust me on this, Zhiyun has done the switching from horizontal to vertical, something really easy and simple to do. But how good is the stabilization? Because that's what really matters, because all these features and functionality that this gimbal can do could literally go out the window if the stabilization is not good.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky, I found my way.
This is a very well-designed gimbal. Someone has put some good thinking behind this Weebill 3S, because it can handle a serious payload, it's reliable, and it does what it does really well. And I genuinely think in this price range, if you are someone that is looking for a gimbal that can handle heavier camera and lenses, you're not gonna find anything better than this. And I genuinely hope that you enjoyed this video and found it interesting. If you wanna watch my comparison between the Weebill 3S, the DJI RH3 Mini, and the smaller Zhiyun Cranium 3S, I leave it down here. I think you're gonna find it really interesting and entertaining. So click on it and I'll see you there.